She's so fine. Hell of a blows my mind. Hell of a lights my.
What's good, guys? This video will be regarding the Shanquella Robinson case, and specifically I wanted to cover a story that WBTV out of Charlotte did. They ran it 19 hours ago, and they too were on the hunt for one of these so-called friends that went with Shanquella Robinson to Puerto Los Cabos on October the 28th of 2022, where she was found dead 24 hours later. Was so looking forward to this trip, and it ended so tragically for her. And so far, there has been no justice in this case. So I'm not going to stop talking about it. I'm just going to go ahead and let you know off top. I'm not going to stop talking about this case. But specifically, I wanted to get into this article that they wrote and also the video that they captured. Now, like I said, this did come out 19 hours ago. It's coming via WBTV, which is in Charlotte, North Carolina. And it says, what happened to Shanquella Robinson? WBTV goes to High Point for an answer. Now, if you watched my previous videos regarding the Cabo 6 that I've done, and the only one that I haven't done is Daejhanae Jackson, and that's because I'm really looking into a few things about her. I haven't forgot about it, but I wanted to try to put out the most thorough information that I could. Now, High Point, we know from my Who is Elise Hyatt video, that's who they're talking about, okay? So they went to Elise Hyatt's job, all right? And the correspondent on this is Brandon Hamilton. He wrote this article as well as he is featured in the video. And I will show the video after this article. But let's get into this. As people nationwide continue to search for answers in the death of Shanquella Robinson, the journey to find those answers took us from Charlotte, North Carolina to High Point, North Carolina. WBTV arrived in High Point around 4:30 p.m. on Monday to find one of the friends, and I use that word very lightly, who was reportedly inside the villa with Shanquella Robinson on October the 29th. Through a source, we were given a name, but because she has not been charged with any crime, WBTV is not naming or revealing her identity. Well, I am, okay? I'm just going to be all the way real about it. I am. It's Elise Hyatt. We waited until the reported friend walked out of a business around 5 p.m. Brandon Hamilton says to her, I work for WBTV. We're just trying to figure out what happened to Shanquella, he said. After a brief conversation, she quickly closed her car door and drove off without answering anything. As far as the investigation, the FBI said on Tuesday, yesterday, that its investigation continues. This FBI investigation is separate from the investigation by Mexican authorities in which an arrest warrant has been issued for an unnamed friend on the trip. And we all know it's Daejhanae Jackson. I mean, just come on with the jokes. We know it's Daejhanae Jackson. We don't have to beat around the bush about that, okay? We just don't. Now, let's cut to this video so that you guys can see exactly what Brandon Hamilton encountered with Elise Hyatt.
We take a journey trying to uncover why this Charlotte 25-year-old woman was found dead in Mexico. And that journey led us to High Point. WBTV's Brandon Hamilton has been breaking developments in this case since last month. He tracked down one of the people reportedly with her on that trip to Cabo. Brandon, did you talk with them? What did you find out?
Sources tipped me off to where one of those friends on their trip with Shanquella could be, Molly. And yes, we spoke quickly, but our goal was simply to ask what happened to Shanquella Robinson. From Charlotte to High Point, North Carolina. We're headed to High Point to find one of the friends of Shanquella Robinson. We received a tip on an address, so we'll see if she is willing to talk. The goal of this trip was to ask the one question that is being asked around the country, as the death of this Charlotte 25-year-old has raised eyebrows nationwide. What we wanted to ask happened to Shanquella Robinson. WBTV photojournalist Noah Shun and I arrived in High Point around 4:30 on Monday afternoon to find one of the friends who was reportedly inside the hotel room with Shanquella in late October, when this viral video was taken. A source said the reported friend would be leaving work around 5 p.m. I was also given a name which we're not repeating because no person around Shanquella has yet to be charged in the United States. We haven't talked to any of the friends. Their numbers have been either disconnected, no one's answering at their home addresses. So we just simply want to know again what happened to Shanquella. Right at 5 o'clock. A woman fitting her description walked out of a business. I then approached her, and again, we're blurring her face because no charges have been filed. This is how our conversation went. Hi, I work for WBTV. We're just trying to figure out what happened to Shanquella. Any comment? She closed her car door and then drove off without answering anything. And Molly, our entire conversation was no more than 10 seconds. Also today, the FBI told me its investigation continues. Now, this is separate from an investigation by Mexican authorities. The prosecutor there in Mexico has issued an arrest warrant for an unnamed friend on that trip. Molly.
So I'm sure Elise Hyatt was expecting and has been expecting and probably has been approached by several other people. But Monday rather, she was approached by WBTV's Brandon Hamilton. She had no words, none, and got in her car and drove off like the little coward that each and every one of the Cabo Six are. So I just wanted to cover this story, and I'm going to keep covering every single thing that I can find because I'm not going to stop saying Shanquella's name. Just not going to do it. There needs to be justice in this case, and the sooner the better. And the sooner that these 6 people are picked up, the better. So I'm going to end the video on that note, but please believe I will be right back with another one. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night.